everybody, it is Donna here with Pink and Maine. I am very excited to be continuing the fun with the birthday theme of March. And I am going to be creating a birthday card this evening. And I'm also going to be showing you some tips on how to create a really quick and easy gift card holder for the inside of your cards. Now, I know I put this live up really late, so a lot of people probably won't be watching it live, except you, Karen. Hi, Karen. And the rest of you, thank you for joining me. And I know the majority of the live watchers are always watching on replay when it's convenient for you. So that is what's great about Facebook Live. And the event is always up there for you to check out and watch if you missed it in real time. So I want to welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. I am going to do embossing tonight. We are going to be playing with Touch of Gloss, which is really fun. And we are going to be playing with glitters. I'm going to show you a couple different techniques with that as well. So I have a lot of fun for you guys. Please have a blast. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I curled my hair tonight. Thanks, Karen. So let me know what you've played with before. If any of these techniques are new, if you're new to Pink and Maine, I love hearing from everybody, and it's so great to have you guys all participating in the lives by commenting and hearting. It goes a long way. So thank you guys so much, and I am going to flip over my camera, and we are going to get started. Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Remember, I am new to this program, so I assume every time I do it right. Can you guys all hear me? Thumbs up, hearts, hearts, hearts. Hit your hearts. Yes, okay, great. Thank you. As long as I get one indication that someone can hear me. And thanks for watching from California. I do miss my sunny California, but Minnesota's not so bad. It was a great winter, apparently. Winter's winter for me. If it's, under 60 degrees, I'm cold. It's a California thing. Okay, so I've laid out some of the embossing powders and the glitters that I'm going to be using tonight. There is a couple differences here. So if you are new to if you are new to Pink and Maine, I knew that would slip out one of these days. If you are new to Pink and Maine, the black lids are their glitters and flocking, and I'm using some tinsel tonight, and the white lids are embossing powders. So when you're doing a quick glance and you grab something, or you're trying to heat up something with a black lid, that is because it is not an embossing powder, it is a glitter. So just something to keep in mind when you are using these products. White lids are embossing powders. You want to use heat with them. And then black lids, the glitters, the flocking, the tinsel, the chunky glitter, that all gets applied with an adhesive. Okay, so I am really excited. There are some fabulous new products coming out, but they are not, and they're birthday related. And they are not out until next week. So I've just been really wanting to play with them. But because they're not available yet, I am sticking with some favorite birthday dies that I have here and that are available for you now. I know I taught a class using this set, so I know some of my students have already purchased this set. This is the Make-A-Wish stamp and coordinating dies. I know there are also foilables with these designs, which are really cool, which I definitely plan on using soon. The foilable packages that I have all come out on the 22nd. So I did play with a little foil today, and I am absolutely going to be adding it to some lives in the future, as well as on my page. I know I've been promising it for a while. So I am using the Make-A-Wish coordinating dies and stamps. The really cool thing about this set is, have you noticed some of the dies you can use with or without the stamp? So the cupcake, for instance, tonight, I've just cut out the cupcake and the base, and I'm not stamping them. Same with the star, and same with the sprinkles. So I'm just going to be stamping out my sayings and then using the other items as just dies. So when you have that little extra bonus in your Stampin' Die sets, it's really fun to mix those together. So I'm going to get started with my cupcake top because it's going to need to dry. So what we are going to do here, did I really, oh, there it is. I'm like, where is my awesome new Pinkmane pickup tool? I want to get that ready. I am going to be using Touch of Glass for this really cool frosting technique. And here is my cupcake. I forget the camera here is a little far away, so I'm going to try to remember to hold things up for you guys. Okay, so here's my frosting on my cupcake. And I am going to be using Touch of Glass. And the sprinkles are one of the dies. So I cut out pink, white, and then I used some of that beautiful pink foil paper that I used last week that came in the kit. But you can use like a mirrored cardstock, anything really fun and glitzy. It's what I wanted to incorporate into my cupcake. But get these all ready. So Touch of Glass dries very fast. So I have all of my sprinkles, or some of you call these jimmies. That was new to me. In California, well, at least where I was, they were called sprinkles. But what did you call them growing up? Confetti? Confetti for your ice cream? So Touch of Glass dries very fast. So I am going to make sure I have everything I need for my next steps ready to go. And then I'm going to take my Touch of Glass and I am going to apply it I'm leaving about, I've got a little air bubble there. I'm leaving a little bit of an edge and I'll show you. I will lift this up so you can actually see, but I'm squeezing out a good thickness. And there we go. And now I'm just filling that in. So I kind of did an outline. I've glued my hand to it. There we go. I did an outline. And now I'm just going to fill that in with my glass. And you could squeeze a little as well as push the product that you have around. So you don't have to make it so huge. So I'm doing a combination of both. I was squeezing some out and pushing the product that I already had out. So let me lift that up so you can see that. That is a nice big solid blob. And this is going to dry completely transparent, just like it says in the name, glass. And I am going to set that down and we are going to add our awesome sprinkles. And I'm just going to do a little random all around here, and I am using our new pickup tool, which I love. This is a wax tip, which is fabulous, and it comes with additional wax tips. So, you know, you leave it in the car, you live in Florida or California, and it melts. Don't worry, you've got extras right there in the package. Okay, so I'm going to throw just I'm over sprinkling. If you've watched me do lives before, you know I am an over embellisher or an over adder of shaker bits, or in this case, an over sprinkler. All right, so there is my cute little cupcake. Let me bring that up to you guys. Whoop. So far I just have those on. Next, what I'm going to do is grab one of my coffee filters. And this is my favorite part of this cupcake technique. I am going to take Tinseltown. And, you know, a lot of people see chunky glitters and kind of get confused on how to use them. Directly on adhesive is one easy way to use them. So, or the Touch of Glass like I'm using here. So I just took a little fingerful and sprinkled that on, and then, you know, flicked my finger in it. But that'll smooth out. I'm just going to add a little bit more. And then I am going to gently, because you know this is all still wet, just kind of tap off what's not stuck on there. And there is my very fun, you can see the different way the light hits my cupcake top, that it is really fun and sparkly and dimensional. So once this dries completely clear, you're going to have the dimension between the toppings, this fun little sprinkles, and then your cupcake base. So I wanted to start with this first so that has a little bit of a chance to dry while we complete our card. All right, let me put my fun little tinsels back. And I'm going to show you another way to use those, as long as I don't forget. Don't forget. Demo Donna, you got this. Okay, I am using, I've had this in my stash for a little over a month now, and I eyeball it and I want to use it over and over again. And tonight was the perfect night to add a really fun background. I'm going to use this in two ways. I'm going to use it as a part of my design, and I'm using it as a stencil. When you cut this out, do yourself a favor, go over to Pink and Main, put in Sunburst Cover Dye, and then if you click on it, you can see more designer samples. There's a lot of beautiful different card ideas that you can use with this, because all these little pop-outs have a little stitched edge on them. I'm just using the negative pretty much, so there's a lot more ways to play with this die, and I'm excited to finally be using it. So this guy here is going to go on my card, and I also cut out a black one, and I'm going to use this as a stencil. So I have got my card base here, and I've got a really fun new little tool, and I should have looked up the name for it. I've, glued some tinsel to my hand, typical parts of the job. All right, I'm going to use one of my VersaFine Clair inks, and I am using this fabulous tool that Pink and Main has, the Maker Session. I did not look up what this is called at Pink and Main's website. So if you know offhand and you want to share it with everybody, fabulous, or I will do that when I'm done with the live. But this is a really cute dauber, and it also comes with, I thought I left the pack, oh, here it is. It also comes with 6, I used one of them, 6 additional little daubers, and these are really easy to pop off and pop on. So there's just pop on and pop off, and this is a really great foam for this beautiful technique. And definitely with any new tool, I always recommend playing with it, pouncing around, seeing how it distributes the color. It's a very important technique when you're using new tools. Any wet medium, really. I always try to play around with it. So I just thought it would be cool to kind of have a shadow of my pink. And the center is not going to be seen, so I'm kind of using the center as my workspace. Got to be able to open this. I am not sticking down this black stencil that I'm using. I'm just going to hold it in place. So I'm going to do like a couple of pounces to make sure my color's not too heavy. I'm going to pounce it off in the center, and then I'm just going to do a really light little pounce, heavier toward the center, and kind of work its way out. And I'm just going to do this for a fun, like I said, a little fun pink shadow effect. Something light. I don't really have a lot of light ink, a lot of light pink ink pads, so that kind of changed the way designing this card went today. You definitely don't need to re-ink every time. It does a really great job on holding that ink pad, holding that ink from your ink pad. All right, and once you go lighter, you can actually daub a little heavier. But right after you first dip in, you want to tap it off a little bit and do a lighter pounce. These are the kind of things that just are so calming. Just doing a nice little pouncing, doing a nice tap, tap, tap. And now I'm going to go to this side, so I'm going to transfer my hand over here because I am a righty. Could you imagine? I just switch the dauber to the other hand and just start going to town. Yes, I don't have that gift. How many of you out there are left-handed? I married a left-handed human being. There's a lot of things that goes into that, like who sits on what side of the table when we go out to dinner. It's very important. We can't sit and eat right arm to left arm. That just does not work. Well, the hands we use, you know what I mean. It's important things. You guys got to know these facts. Okay, so there is my light pink burst that is going to be a little bit of a shadow. So this is my little stencil. So I just cut this out with black cardstock. I can now go use this on another card, or I can just keep this tucked away with my actual die and use it as a stencil. So just a fun little something, a little something something. With that, I'm going to set my dauber aside, and next we are going to make this nice and sparkly. So I am going to take a piece of my scrap paper. So I've just got a piece of computer paper here, and I'm going to set this down. This is a very easy technique, especially if you've never done heat embossing and you've got some embossing powders. Maybe you picked one up on accident. This is a great way to try it out. Grab some of your die cuts, cut them out, take your Versamark. Ink is very important when you're embossing. You want to have the right kind of ink. You need a pigment ink, an embossable ink, something that stays wet longer. A dye ink dries fast, it absorbs right into the paper, and you cannot use that for embossing. You also need a heat tool. So you need a good ink pad, embossing powder, and a heat tool. Of course, there's other tools that you can use, tweezer tools, and stamps are sometimes important, you know, when you're heat embossing. All right, I inked that up. And again, the pad I'm using is Versamark. And I'm gonna now remove this. I always make sure I Versamark on something separate from where I pour my embossing powder on. So if I did this technique on that coffee filter, when I sprinkle my embossing powder on, it would all stick to my coffee filter. So that's why I make sure I have two different kind of mats behind me. All right, I am using, this is the Sterling embossing powder. And this is a beautiful silver embossing powder that has silver glitter in it as well. So it is super sparkly. This is definitely a must-have for your holiday season. All the holidays, really. And I didn't tell you this time, but I know you guys know, and I posted it in the comment section. If you head on over to Pink and Maine after watching this video and you use code DEMODONNA, DEMODONNA, all one word, you will receive an additional 10% off of your order. And that also lets Pink and Maine know that I sent you their way. So I appreciate all of you awesome people that have been doing that. That's really, really great. And it's so great to get feedback from Pink and Maine on all of the fun things that you guys are purchasing. All right, so I just tacoed up my coffee filter, sprinkle that in, and I just usually give those little extra pieces that kind of stay staticky, I give it a little shake over my trash can. Now, I am not going to heat this entire thing up for you because that's going to take a few minutes, but I'm going to heat up some of it and then I have one already done. So what I like to do is I like to take my heat tool and I aim away from me. And I usually start in a place like here, and therefore the heat transfers and melts up. So that kind of makes it go a little quicker. So I'm going to show you guys now what that looks like heated. So it goes from a grainy matte finish to a glossy finish. So you can definitely see the light is hitting this section a little different. The glitter does make it trickier. So when you're using a flat embossing powder, it's much easier to see what's been heat set and what hasn't. For instance, this one is entirely heat set. So you see a lot more shine and reflection from the light, where this one is still pretty grainy. All right, so I'm gonna do a quick cleanup with my awesome cleanup brush, also available at Pink and Maine. I was very excited they have these. I have many. I think I probably have 5 of them. So I am just gonna do a quick cleanup into my coffee filter. This is the behind the scenes that you can't really see. And put that in the lovely glittery trash that I have over there. Okay, next I am going to take my card base. I'm like, where is it? Oh yes, it's this, which right now just looks like a big blob, but it'll look cute in the end. It's the behind the scenes. You guys are getting the behind the scenes part. Okay. I am now going to take my craft glue. I checked it beforehand to make sure it wasn't all clogged, and it was. So I made it Facebook Live ready. Oh, and we are also live on YouTube. I forget to do a shout out to people on YouTube because I know not everyone is on Facebook these days. So we also stream this on YouTube as well. So thank you for those of you watching live on YouTube or watching the replay. So great for you to join us. Hope you're learning some fun techniques. Now this is the exact shape of an A2 card. So I am going to layer that down, and it's going to look weird until we put our cupcake on, but that frame fits perfectly. And because I'm using a wet adhesive, so you can see when I did my stenciling, I wanted it to be off a little bit, so it had more of like a shadow effect than just the pink right underneath it. Okay, we are next going to, we're not going to cover this up yet because my cupcake is still drying and we have to do some work on the inside of our card. So I'm going to open this up and we are going to be putting a gift card holder inside of our card. And this is such an easy, quick technique to do, but it's just fun to share with you because sometimes people forget about it. I actually do get messaged quite often on how to do a gift card holding card. So I figured with birthday cards, this is the perfect time to teach this technique. So I am using the scallop rectangle dies, and I went ahead and found one that was a little bit larger than my gift card. So most of them are this size, but sometimes you get something that's a square gift card or a little different shape or size. So it's so nice to have all these nesting dies so you can actually find something that works for you. So here's what I did. I took a quarter, say hello to my dog. He loves getting involved in the lives. He wanted to say hello to everybody. So I went ahead and took a quarter of my paper here, folded it in half. So this is currently the size of an A2 card front. Folded that in half. Take my die, which I just put right in front of me, and you want to make sure you cut that under this cut here. So I know I do a lot of fun folds and show you guys how to, I love that my voice is cracking tonight. I'm hitting puberty in my 40s and it's very cracky for some reason. Okay, so we'll just ignore that. I guess it's either a coughing or a cracky voice, but it's all good. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure that cut is under my fold. And the nice thing about using a little bit of removable tape is then when you're putting your plates together and you're running that through your die cut machine, they don't move around. So run that through your die cut machine. And now what I have is this cute little card. But I want them to be able to see my gift card when they open up the card right away. So I am gonna just take my cutter and cut it down. I'll just bring this over so you can see it. So you want to make sure, I measured out my card first and how much I want to expose. And I felt like 1.25 inches was like a good amount where the card has a little lip to keep it inside and yet enough of it exposed. So I've got the fold right here, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut it 1.25. And now when I fold that up and I could test my card, that is a perfect amount for them to easily grab the card and to expose that there's a gift card in there. You can also do this with cash, which is really fun. Or, if anyone still carries that checkbook around, can write a fun little check, put it in there. I don't know if the kids can read cursive anymore is what I hear on the streets. Oh, homeschool. Yes, the homeschoolers still teach their kids cursive. I've learned that from my homeschool moms. Okay, next what you're gonna do here, and obviously this varies on size and die, but with this one, I really don't have a lot of glue space. So I just have where these little scalloped edges are. So I know I don't want to put glue inside of that line. So I'm just going to go ahead and find my glue. And I am just going to add, I'm going to just open this side and just add my glue drops here and here. And since this is wet adhesive, you're just going to want to hold it on the sides for a little bit. I'm using a craft glue, so if it squeezes out, it's not going to be sticky. And that is your fun little pocket. Isn't that cute? You can also stick a little message in there. When I was visiting Pink and Maine, one of the lovely Pink and Maine customers made me a beautiful card, and she did something very similar and stuck a little note inside. Isn't that so cute? Just something a little different for the inside of your cards. So if it's not a gift card, it could be, you know, a beautiful little note. And thank you, Sharon. Very kind of you. Okay, so now we are going to take our fabulous little gift card holder. I'm going to flip that over, and I am going to stick some of the 1/2 inch easy tear tape. Because it's something a little heavier, I am going to put a little extra adhesive. I'm not going to glue this down now because I just remembered I promised you another technique with your glitter tinsel. And I am going to take my fun little easy tear tape here. And I normally, if this didn't have the scallop edge on it, I would have just gone ahead and stuck it on. But I am just going to do my best to cut 2 straight ends. Everyone hold your breath. Me cutting straight is a very rare sight. Okay, that'll work. Works for me. Okay, so this is my, I'm gonna kind of throw that in there in the center-ish. We're gonna push that down. So this is gonna become part of my design on the front of my little carton here. And I am gonna grab a coffee filter. Again, I usually have a stack about 3 or 4 of them. So when I'm switching around to different colors, if I'm using like dark ones, I keep grabbing one that I may see like a couple dark specks on. So, you know, just so you know. All right, once you push that down really well, I'm gonna go ahead and peel that up. And I am gonna show you a very fun technique with any of your thicker glitters. So I'm using Tinseltown. There is also Cracked Glass and Snowdrift. These are also thicker glitters. And when I use these types of glitters on tape, there's always a step 2. So I'm going to show you what the important step 2 is. So I'm going to take the beautiful Tinseltown, not Glinseltown, but isn't that gorgeous? And I am going to sprinkle that Tinseltown right on top, Tinseltown on top. I've got a nice little pile here. I'm now going to take my finger tool and just layer that over. There we go. Just push that down. Do it a couple times because this is a chunky glitter. It's a little different than your regular glitters. So tap that down. And now you've got a really fun confetti looking type of border inside. Taco at my coffee filter, return that to its home. It's very happy. Okay, the step 2 that I'm talking about, and you might not notice it right away, but this is still sticky. There is still, even if I did a second layer of that, because it's a chunky glitter, there is still, I think I threw it, I might have poured a little bit of glitter inside of my card. That's okay. All right, you know, for some people, they would leave that there. It's a little extra bonus to your fun, interactive birthday card. Okay, so the point that I'm trying to make here is this is still sticky. So if you were to send this in the mail inside of your card, chances are when they open that up, this is going to be stuck to the front of your card, and no one wants that. No, we don't. For all our hard work, we do not want to have an adhesive malfunction during grand opening of said card. So I'm going to take Ice Rink. This is when the step 2 comes into play. You want to take now a nice super fine glitter, and I'm going to sprinkle this over, but what I'm sprinkling I will not be returning in here. So I'm not going to pour a huge amount. I'm just going to pour enough. Close this up just to remind me, do not pour it back in there. Just throwing another cough drop in so I don't cough for you guys. Take your finger tool now, and now I am burnishing that down. So any adhesive that is still exposed is now covered up with some more beautiful glitter. So that is how I use all chunky glitters on tape, and it still provides a fun, sparkly border, but now without the sticky. That is not sticky at all. That is not going to stick to the inside of my card. And again, you do not want an adhesive malfunction, everybody. It is that you have worked way too hard for that. Okay, we are doing a cleanup on aisle, all of it. Now we are going to start to stick this guy down, and I am just going to remove that 1/2 inch tape. Okay, you guys now just saw 2 different ideas on what to do with chunky glitter. And I know you have some chunky glitter. I bet you have some in a drawer. You bought it, you were at a trade show or at a show or maybe at Pink and Main, and you were like, ooh, this is really pretty, I need this. And it's still sitting there and you haven't used it. Now you have 2 different ways to use chunky glitter. And I gotta tell you, it's really fun for Easter. A little extra a little extra flair for Easter is very fun. So now you can stick this on the bottom, you can stick it on the top. I'm gonna center mine. You could do wherever you like. I added some wet adhesive over my tape, so if I needed to move that around a little bit, I could do that. I'm just gonna flatten my card and push that down. And there is my fun little insert in there. We're gonna do a check, make sure my gift card fits in. It fits in nice and snug. And I am going to stick a happy birthday, even though this gift card happens to say happy birthday. This is the one I use for like every how to make a gift card holder. So this one does happen to say happy birthday, but they don't all say happy birthday. So I am now just gonna throw an additional happy birthday on here. I am going to take this guy right here, and I am just gonna pink up some of these edges. So this even has enough ink still on it from when we did this fun background. So I am now gonna take my cute little dauber, and I'm just doing a little loop around, going on the inside too. Just a really quick way to touch up your edges, and because there is additional daubers, you can pick your favorite colors and have them handy. So now I've got a cute little pink shadowing, and we are going to add that to the inside of my card. And I am going to go, you know what, maybe I will just go down. You know, you could even put it up here or down here, but I'm going to layer it. I'm going to go right there. So I'm going to add some wet adhesive again, and I'm just going to put it over my happy. But again, if you had a boring gift card, that wasn't happy birthday, you could definitely add some. I have exactly the amount of stars that I want to use for the outside of my card, so I'm not going to use any, but even some stars on there would be super cute. And that is now a fun gift card holder. This would be great too for teacher appreciation coming up in May. If you make some fun teacher appreciation cards and you give them a little coffee. I tend to do coffee gift cards. I feel like that's a great way to thank your teachers. Okay, I'm going to pull this gift card out just to complete the front of our card here. And we are going to start with our cupcake base. So I'm going to show you how I did that super cute little cupcake base. Very easy technique. Another fun glitter technique. I am just taking my 1/8 inch easy tear tape, finding the edge, and I am just eyeballing it and doing little stripes. So if you are not comfortable with your eyeball skills, another great thing you could do is lay down graph paper and take your piece of cardstock, stick it down, and you can use the lines of your graph paper as a marker. But because it's a cupcake base, I wasn't overly paranoid on where my little lines were. So let's make sure I have enough. What you're gonna do now is flip that over. I'm gonna trim off the edges, 1 and 2. Now an important step is to make sure all of your adhesive is cut off. You don't wanna run anything through your machine that has adhesive sticking out. I'm removing easy tear tape from my fingers. There we go. Okay, so 2 things. You want to make sure you have no sticky adhesive because you don't want to run that through your die cut machine. And the other thing is you want to make sure that that tape is securely stuck down. If it's just, so I take my fingernail tool. You can also take a brayer. You can, you know, take a can of soup. I'm just kidding. Whatever you want. Take a little spatula. Take something strong, muscular, you know, like your fingernail tool. All right. Now I am just going to take the little cupcake base die, run that through my die cut machine, and look at, I actually brought my little guy. Here's my little sidekick. I know none of us have one of anything. This is one of many die cut machines. Remove whatever's left over from the last time I used it. Come on, guys. Okay, I'm going to place that down. Again, you can use a little tape if you want to position it, but that would be something else I have to find. So I'm going to go just like that. Sandwich that in. I'm going to lock my machine down. This is the one place it actually locks down. So I'm going to lock that down, run that through. There we go. Now I have a cute little striped background. And you can see my tape moves away where it's not cut. So that's why you want to really make sure it's nice and secured down so you get your straight lines. Okay, I'm going to take that out. Now I've got my cute little cupcake. My cute little cupcake base. I'm going to put that back. Move this guy out of the way. Unlock it. All right. And I am just going to go take these little backing pieces off. You can do, you know, stripes on there. You could do some black and some, I'm going to be using the raspberry. You can even put embossing powder on your tape. So if you wanted to have the silver embossing powder, you could do that too. Lots of fun little options. I do believe you can also foil on the easy tear tape. I haven't tried it. Maybe some of you have tried it and you're fact checking me right now, and that is true. I do believe you can. Okay, I am going to be taking the raspberry glitter. Remember, black lid, it's a glitter. Pouring that down. taking my finger tools, and I am just burnishing that glitter onto the tape, tapping that off, and now I have an adorable glittery striped base for my cute cupcake. I'm going to take my cleanup brush. I like to clean up my little fingers. There we go. I do always put lotion on before these lives because my hands are so dry, and glitter and lotion, they're not the best, or maybe they are best friends. They're best friends. They love sticking together. So, you know, when you're doing glitter projects at home and you don't need to lotion up, I definitely recommend lotion-free hands. But look at how adorable that is. And again, you can do that with so many different things. So fun. Again, a really good technique for upcoming Easter cards. You can do a fun stripe in the back. You can do, you know, you can mix your different sizes. You can do your 1/2 inch and your 1/4 inch and your 1/8 inch. So have some fun with it. If you've never tried that technique before, try it out. Let me know. Okay, we are going to clean up again, and it is time to build our card. I think I've rambled on long enough where this is just about dry. It is. Like, I can touch this and it's not sticky. It's also covered with, you know, fun glitter tinsel, but not too sticky. Okay, we are now, gosh, we've done so many things. We've embossed, we've glittered, we made our little card, we did some smearing, which, you know, still looks really silly. This is not our card. If anyone is logging on late, this is not our card. It's going to be covered up, I promise you. Okay, I am going to take my cupcake base, and I am going to actually put my cupcake up just a little. I'm going to grab my spaceship, the roll of foam tape, which I love, and I am going to trim a little piece here, and we are going to drop that down. I don't know why I can't pick this guy up. He's really fighting me tonight. Okay, stick that on, remove the back. There we go. And I am also adding my Make-A-Wish. So let me just make sure I have enough space for everything. You could play around with different bursts too if you want to add more dies in the background. I wanted as much of that beautiful silver burst and the pink to be exposed. So now that I've done that, I am going to take a thicker foam, and I'm just going to kind of size that. I know this is smaller than my actual cupcake top, so, but because my cupcake top is still a little wet, I am going to gently put it on my card just so you can see it. I would probably, something that thick, I would let that sit at least an hour. This one I did, yeah, this one I did an hour ago. And this one is good to go. I can touch it, I could squish it. I would put it on, but I like this pinker better. This pinker. I like this pink better. There we go. Words are fun. Okay, can we pick it up? Woohoo! Okay, yes, I removed that. I might even, this adhesive's a little old. I think I'm going to even add some wet glue on top of it. There we go. Again, you don't want to adhesive malfunction. You've worked so hard. Okay, we are going to put my cute little cupcake. There's also candles in this kit, balloons, stars, as you can see. I don't want to use my fingernail for this. I am actually going to use my little poker tool because you won't see those little pokes. Or maybe you will. So we'll just do a couple so it looks on purpose. There. Ah, you don't see them. They're teeny tiny. But now we've got our cupcake on there. Is that not fun? You've got that. Looks much better than just a big pink blob in the middle. Okay, we are now going to add our stars. Woohoo! And we are going to also add a fun saying on the bottom. I am obsessed with Pickup Tool. I know it is going to be released, I believe, next Friday. because I know some of you have been asking me about it. So I believe the 22nd is when the new releases for March will be out, which is so great because there are so many awesome things that I really want to show you guys. Okay, I went ahead, stamped, I don't want to use that one. I would like to use this one. There we go. I did Make-A-Wish, and I did the black ice embossing powder, and I added a little dimension on the back. So with these, I actually die cut first. No, I take that back. I inked them and heat embossed them, and then picked my favorite. I know I've shown this technique before. Picked a favorite, and then I cut that one out. So I usually do like 3 or 4 stamp outs, heat emboss them all, and then pick a favorite. And sometimes all 3 or 4 are great and I'm happy with all of them, and I cut them all out and I have extras for upcoming cards. So that's a lot of fun too. I am going to do my Make-A-Wish. And I am going to also add a little extra glue. So this is just my craft glue. And I am going to do my little candle. Should we go yellow? Let's go yellow. So I'm going to use lemonade. This one of the last parts of my magic tricks tonight. We're going to add a little lemonade to our Make-A-Wish. You know, I could have really added the adorable candle. There is a candle and a candle flame for the top of my cupcake, but you know, I was really busy trying to create magic here, so forgot the candle, but you got a candle in your Make-A-Wish. So now I've got a fun dimensional glittery candle for my Make-A-Wish, and I'm going to add some stars. Last but not least, we're going to add some sticky gems. And then I will go back in and answer any questions. And on the Facebook page, yeah, I will both. If you have any questions about what products I used, I will happily answer those. I'm using the Make-A-Wish stamp and die sets. I used the Sunburst cover die, which is very cool. And this fabulous tool, the touch of gloss. You always need more stars, right? Oh, adorable. I might have to stick a candle on this after the fact, but super cute. Okay, we are going to throw a couple sticky gems on there. And let me know, have you ever used Touch of Gloss? What do you use it for? I just used it in a class for the bubble gums for the adorable little bubble gum machine. And I have definitely used it in car windows, which is really fun too, like the old pickup trucks. All right, you guys, here is my Make-A-Wish very fun and dimensional card with my happy birthday card, gift card holder on the inside. And again, this technique would be really fun to use for teacher appreciation. Obviously, happy birthday, fun for the holidays. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you learned some cool techniques today or tonight or whenever you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube. And if you want to head over to Pink and Main and do any shopping, remember to use code DEMODONNA, DEMODONNA, all one word, to get your 10%. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.